This is my 2005 Isuzu Elf Firetruck. It's a 4.7 liter 4-cylinder diesel imported from Japan in 2022. I just bought it in, what is it now, May 2025. So just gonna do a little bit of an outside tour for you here. So these trucks were fitted out by a company called Morita, which I believe is in Osaka, Japan, kind of south of Tokyo. Isuzu Elf's kind of like a smaller cab over version of some of the North America Isuzu trucks, meaning the cab is over the front wheels and over the motor. The motor's about in line with the front wheels. It's a 4-door. You can apparently tilt it, but it's quite a bit of work, so it's only for serious work, I suppose. You can do the oil change and everything from right under the front seat there. So a 4-door truck. It's got similar side, both sides with a hose reel. This is an inlet one. It's got a filter on it, as you can see right there. And then over here we got pump control, pressure gauges, and a whole bunch of valves. I think this would be an inlet here. That's another inlet. Those both got a valve, and then we got 2 outlets with the valves right here. I haven't fully finished translating everything on this, but there's a whole bunch of other controls. We got a light here. I don't really know how to turn that on. It might be dead. Some nice lockers, both sides. I don't think I can open that one-handed. Oh, there we go. So I suppose that's for hoses or something. And then up here, we got this tray that opens up, and you can kind of store whatever you need to store there. Moving on to the side, looks like they had a wheel chock spot right here. There's one on the other side. Fire extinguisher. This is a 24-volt truck, so all the lights and all that stuff are actually 24-volt. Moving into the back, we got a seat that folds down with a little armrest there to keep you safe. Under here is actually where you can kind of see the pump. So that's the pump down there. Quite a bit of space in the front. It's PTO driven, so that drive shaft you see there in the middle comes off a little gearbox type thing inside. So there's a big lever in the front. You throw that and then it activates this pump. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently it works really well. A couple spotlights. There's one over there. There's one at the back here. I know that front one works, but I haven't figured out how to turn the back one on. I think it's a little bit disconnected or something. Going down the back, so here we got a little tow hook in case you need to get towed or tow someone else. And then, like I mentioned, this side is pretty much the same. It's got hose reel. I actually put a wheel chock in this bracket. And then we got the locker, we got the pump station with all the controls and everything. Looks like maybe in here there was an intercom or a phone or something like that before. Then over here there's some controls, probably for the pump. I think maybe you can control the idle speed or something right here. I got to go through and translate all this from Japanese sometime. And then here's the control for that spotlight up top, but it's got to be, motor's got to be running for that to work. A little fuel tank down here. I just filled up and it was about just under half a tank, and now it's almost spilling out there for about $68 Canadian. So maybe it's not as small as it looks, but I've got to figure out the fuel economy on this truck. It doesn't seem bad so far. Truck's really low geared. That's the one problem I have with it right now. In 5th gear, which is the highest gear, you're going only about 80 at a nice RPM. So for anything on the highway, you're kind of pushing it. So my plan is to put some bigger tires on it. If I can get parts and get someone to help me with re-gearing the rear axle, that would be great. So if any of you know anything more about that, let me know. I've got to identify what kind of axle that is and see if I can get it re-geared, because that would improve the drivability of this truck quite a bit, because right now I'm just using it around town kind of thing. One other interesting thing about these trucks is they've got 41 millimeter lug nuts, but for the rear wheels, you got the lug nut for the outer wheel. Then you actually got to turn off this inner bud, they call it, to get the inner wheel off, which is kind of interesting. So I've had to order some fancy socket to get both those things when you need to. It's an expensive socket, but what else can I tell you? I think that's pretty much it. My plan right now is to sell or scrap this rear box where the pump is in, and then basically flat deck the truck. I'm going to put a 9-foot flat deck on it, which is going to take it about to where it ends right now at the back. Do a straight 8 feet and then chamfer the corners in to make it 9 feet. So that's my plan. Possibly put a camper on it, but we'll have to see. The truck's quite narrow. I'm not quite sure how it'll handle, but that's part of the fun of all this. Just figure things out along the way. Next thing I'm working on though is just figuring out what I need to do to do an oil change. So oil filters, fuel filters, those kind of things. They're not as easy to come by as you would think. This truck is not sold in Canada or North America, and it's not, even the motor's not sold here, I don't think. So that's one thing I'm looking into now. Anyway, that's the truck.